Hey, hey,
Happy
hey.
birthday
From a view
Welcome
from the
to A View from the Sea.
sip. We all sipping on a little hydration today.
Little agua, H2O.
Yes. A little detox water here.
How
Our
y'all
things
doing
might get a little
today?
hot. We gotta, hydrate. hmm
How y'all doing today? Y'all got a lot to share.
Good.
Oh yeah, got a lot to talk about. Been a lot going on.
So you had a wonderful open this weekend of your play, The Brownie. Please share,
Yes,
share, share.
yes, it was phenomenal. The house was almost fully packed for the first debut of the production, so I was really excited about that. My cast came out and did an outstanding job of bringing the brownie to life. My assistant director, Stephen Brandon, and all of my casting director, Lavita Davis, I want to just give them a shout out. And my sorors and everybody that came out to help, my brother Fred, my sister Ada. It was really great. It was well received. I think one of my favorite part about the production was the audience interaction. They were talking to the characters, and I think some of the actors was like, "I might need some security when I leave up out of here," because they had really gotten into it. They were talking back, even with my character. When I got pulled off the head by Satan, even the girl was like, "You deserve it." But that let me know that they had really gotten into it. We even had, some really emotional moments, and even some of the hostesses were emotional and cried through some of the scenes, and a lot of us did through the cast, and that's why we had the trigger warning also on the production flyer because we knew like the scene with the teenage mutilation or suicide attempt could be a bit much for some or could be triggering. I think the domestic violence scene really got the women involved. They kind of wanted to probably come up on the stage and grab him. But it was well attended at the historic Alamo Theater. So a shout out to them. And a shout out to you, Dr. J, and A View from the SIP, and everybody that were sponsors and did donations and, supported through ticket sales. And then we went to the VIP event at the Clinton Center and had a great time and celebrated. So it is done for right now. We shall see what the spring has in store. Somebody has mentioned to me, asked me about doing a dinner theater of the
Oh, wow.
production.
Yeah.
So that's possibly maybe the next step. So I'm going to check in on that, talk to some people, and talk to the cast and see what we can do. But it was great, and it just feels good to have it done the first time and that it was so well received so far. I've got a lot of great reviews. Thank
Congratulations.
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
Major congratulations.
Thank you.
We're so proud of you. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. It's a lot. It's a lot of hard work. And once you do something like this, you appreciate and understand and support even more other people that do it because you know what it takes
Yeah,
to get it done. So, yeah,
yeah.
shout out to the men of Kappa Alpha Psi and their support of the production, showing up, getting the ad, and even to the men of A5A. My brother stepped in on behalf of them because he said we can't let the nukes be the only one.
Oh, that was
So
awesome.
yeah.
So, Miss Kiki, you've been overseas. You've been to what,
Yeah.
Dubai and India. Can you kind of share a little bit about your journey and what you learned and why you was there?
Awesome.
And so I went to the Let Us Dream International Triennial International Conference. And so it was hosted in Bangalore, India. The theme for the conference was Empower Communities, Strengthening Connections for a Sustainable Future. And so they host different workshops and panel discussions talking about social, educational, and it's one more other panel. But I was on the student workshop panel, and so we talked about the media in the U.S. Me, along with another one of my colleagues here, Freeman, and how to empower tomorrow future leaders. And so it was a very humbling experience just to see how another culture will just live. And being that I was enrolled in a cross cultural communication course, and the course is teaching us how to communicate with different cultures and how they interact, and just being able to put that experience to use from all of the education that I learned from behind it. And just learning, even if I was to be over there and I didn't agree with something and I didn't, like something, how not to bring offense to that culture or anything, because India is very different. Um, One thing that probably shocked you guys, like they turn a hot water off on campus at 11:45 p.m. and they turn it back on at 4:45 a.m. And so they shut their college campus down at 10:30 p.m. and they release guard dogs, and the guard dogs are trained to kill. So if anyone is caught outside of campus or anything, patrolling the area, they could possibly just lose their life. And just with the student life, how classes start at 5:30 a.m. And it's just a big difference over here in the U.S. Their students are triple majors, and it's like we over here in the U.S. we be complaining about one major, and they life is totally different. I never forget one student was just saying that it's so much pressure on her from her professors and parents just to get married and have children. And it's like in America we don't have that much pressure on us, to have whole families and stuff like that. It's more so just about education to finish school and get a degree. But just being able to see how they live, experience that, and even just the food, it was just amazing. And I did experience culture shock, but about Dubai, I love Dubai. I would live there. Like that's a very beautiful city, and I think everybody should just take a trip there if they could. It's very clean. You don't have to worry about any crimes or anything. But overall, it was just a very great experience. And also for 2024, the conference will be hosted at Grambling. And one major thing, Grambling was the only HBCU representation for the schools out there in India, but we represented for all. And so, even though the conference will be hosted at Grambling next year, we will be inviting other HBCUs to come and connect with us so other students can have the same opportunity. Because every 3 years, the conference is hosted in India. That's where the founder is from. And so, the conference is hosted all over the world. Like they're planning to host it in Ghana, in New York. And I already, been to different places. But yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Please share pictures, souvenirs, all that good stuff. What about the food? What did you enjoy about the food? Or was there
Ooh,
something
the
that you
food
thought was
was
a favorite?
really spicy. I thought Louisiana has spicy food, but we don't have nothing on India like the spice levels. And the
Yeah.
food is very different. Like even the fruit juice, like it's real fruit juice, different fruits and stuff. And so like before you go to any other country, you're supposed to do your research.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew a little. I didn't do that much research like I should have. But in India, the cows are sacred. So they don't eat beef, pork, none of that. So they have like chicken sausage, chicken, all this stuff. So
Everything.
I'm getting over there. I'm just like,
So the chicken not sacred.
Right.
the
Nowhere.
cows
And
are
no
walking on
culture.
the streets like they regular people, y'all. So even in McDonald's, I'm getting whole chicken wings, chicken thighs and stuff. And I'm just like, Lord.
Did you
Like,
eat the
okay.
I don't know the name of the rice, but it's really fragrant. You eat it, it's like you almost could taste the fragrant or flour in it. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe the
Now I
taste.
did eat the chicken fried rice off the streets. Now that was good. I was eating chicken fried rice every
It
day.
was like a white rice that's kind of fragrant in the
Yeah, I
smell
didn't.
and
I didn't
taste.
eat any white rice.
Any favorite
Oh, and
dessert?
also one more thing I like to say, me and my other colleague, we was the only African Americans up on the international media design team.
Okay.
And so after I presented the Grambling collaboration video, I did get an invitation to continue to be a part of the international design team.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Congratulations and thanks for
Thank
sharing your
you.
experience with us.
That's awesome.
I
Get
know,
a
right?
passport, guys. Get a
That's right.
passport.
Get them stamps, baby. Stamp,
Them
stamp.
stamps. Go
Yes,
somewhere.
another one coming soon.
What y'all want to talk about next? We got so many good stories.
Can we talk about this at home just real quick? And I want to talk about that because I love that store. I
About
like
what?
to go in there
What
at
is you?
home.
What
You
is
know,
you
we have
talking about?
one out here on County Line Road.
Look, what is you talking about?
The store, the story I sent you about at home, what happened at home, at the store called At Home.
What happened? Because I must
So
didn't
I'm
see that. I
about
got
to
all these
tell
other
you.
stuff.
So there's this black couple that went there to the store in New York. They went to the store and they purchased a Christmas tree, and lights and everything that goes with the tree. So apparently, prior to them getting that, there were two black females that were in the store that supposedly stole a Christmas tree. So they supposedly stole this Christmas tree, and the couple had their tree, and they were going to the register to pay for the tree. And the security guard, and the guy was on the phone, and the security guard asked him, "Who are you talking to?" And the guy's like, kind of threw him off, like, what? He's like, "Who are you talking to?" So he's saying, "Are you talking to the two women that were in here who just stole the Christmas tree? You must be talking to them. So you were in on it, on them stealing the tree." And so the guy was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he started being really hostile and rude and ugly with the man, the officer did. And they're trying to explain. They don't know what he's talking about. They weren't with anybody, but he assumed that they were with them because the two individuals were black. And these two were the only other blacks in the store. So they assumed that they were working in it all together. And then he goes and try to get the manager to try to explain to him, what's going on. And the manager ain't much better than the security guard. But at some point, they decide, I guess, okay, this is done. We're going to let you leave. Then they come back in and they're trying to talk again to the manager to get it all resolved. And they said the manager's just saying, "Well, what, you came back to get, do you want to get the tree? Do you want to get the tree, or what? What do you want to do?" And so they took to social media with it and got a whole lot of views and shares on the story. I know the guy is a content creator, I think. I don't remember what the young lady was, but they got a lot of views about that and got people talking. So it just made me think about, here we go again, shopping while black. And the
Did you see
assumptions that
Macy?
were made because they were the only other blacks there, that you had to be in with this other group, as though we all know each other.
So when I hear you tell that story, it makes me think about Macy Brown. She posted a story about
Hmm.
having a similar experience at a new bowling alley.
Yes, I
This
read that. Isn't that
And it
something?
also reminds me of what happened with us at the mall about
Yes.
5 years ago with the students
You
that
can't even
they
shop
thought
like
that we
that.
was affiliated with another group of people that they had told last week not to come back to the mall. And so them assuming that all black people know each other and talk to
Right,
each other, it's
right,
crazy.
Yeah.
right. And to come up to him and say, "Who are you talking to?" You expect me to answer you?
People don't even understand the feelings that you feel after you have been violated,
Yeah.
not by one, but two and three. Like I said, they stopped us inside the mall, followed us outside of the mall, and then Ridgeland Police Department pulled us over. Like,
That's
just
crazy.
overkill.
Yeah.
Like, you would thought we had assaulted somebody.
Right. And then you got the wrong people. And you done this just because my skin is brown, because I'm a black
Man,
person. And so
listen.
you decided to target me. And the guy's wife was extremely emotional about it. She was crying. She was like, "So how many people now looking at us like we criminals?" And just to be attacked like that out of nowhere, it's almost like you want to say that stuff you see on TV and don't really think it might happen to you, but when it does, it's traumatizing.
Yeah.
No matter what age, just traumatizing to be just targeted like that. So I was like, here we go. And
And
so the
see,
guy was like, "Did he really think I wanted to buy the Christmas tree after all of that?" No, because we don't spend our money where we're not respected. I will hope.
that's what we have to really start doing. Like, man, people get disrespected, especially at these convenience stores, but they'll keep
Mhm.
going back. Did they
Yep.
call this damn store? Find you somewhere else.
They don't
Why do we give
understand
people our money? Like that's our power. If
the
we
economic
learn
boycott.
anything else from the Montgomery bus boycott, we need
Right.
to learn the power of our
Of the
dollar and where
dollar.
we spend it.
That's because they might not respect you, but they respect that dollar. An economic boycott, that is the most powerful thing that we have. They'll sit up and pay attention to that. They will listen to that. Other than that, they don't care because if you keep coming back, it's just like the stuff we see all the times, like these videos, how some black women may go into these nail salons, certain nail salons, Asian nail salons, and get disrespected and talked to any kind of way. And the other customers are in there too, and you see this, and you're black, and still you all keep coming back. And so if you keep going back, they're gonna keep doing it because they figure we definitely don't care, so you must not care, and so you continue to pay for them to stay with other cultures that don't want their businesses in their communities, but yet they come to our communities to make the money to stay somewhere else, and they treat us
And I
bad,
say something. I
and you
say
keep
something to
going.
them.
You have to, because if you don't, they're just gonna keep doing it, and it's gonna get worse. And so they're like, well, you pretty much are saying, well, we don't care that you treat this woman that way, this black woman that way. We're gonna keep coming to you because if I walked in a business like that and I heard that or saw that, I definitely would not spend my money there, and I would not go back.
We have to learn the power of our voice and learn to speak up.
And our dollar,
When we
they say
stand
what they want to, but
together,
we spend a lot of money.
when we stand together, that's right. We're the number one consumers.
Right. They say we don't make as much as everybody else, but we consume it. We are top consumers, and they know there are certain things definitely that help make them money.
But I want to engage the people that's watching. Let us know you watching. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're watching from. We want to know your thoughts on these stories. We especially want to know your thoughts about this story right here. What do you all think about Derek
Ooh,
Chauvin being stabbed 22 times in prison? This is the guy that killed George Floyd. And so he was stabbed 22 times while he was in prison. Do y'all think this is payback? Do y'all think that the prison is at fault? Do y'all think it was a setup? And the person that stabbed him, I think it was from a Mexican gang or something.
wow.
What are your thoughts about this story?
I wasn't surprised by it. I was just it was a matter of time, I think, that it was gonna happen, that somebody was going to try to attack him, to hurt him, to kill him, because the whole world saw what happened to him. Um, I don't know, the interesting thing is how did they get to him, but I'm not surprised that they did, and so he probably wasn't surprised either, probably been in there holding his breath, watching his back, just waiting for somebody to try something. Um, it comes down to you do things and you don't always think things all the way through. When you've done them at the time, I guess he thought it was, he kind of seemed to be kind of smirky and smug about it. Of course, not thinking as an officer, I would get charged, taken to court, and actually charged and arrested and sent to prison. And then you have to deal with the fact that not only George Floyd's family is devastated, but even yours got devastated by what you did. And now they're devastated again because you almost lost your life doing this. And so I guess at this point, they're probably going to have to double up the security on him. But I wouldn't be surprised if another attack was tried on him. 22 stab wounds. They meant to send him on out of here.
I was just about to say that sound like a setup
They meant to
and
send him on
yeah.
to the other side.
Mhm.
Like somebody made a
So
call or something like
he's
him.
fortunate that he's still here, unlike
Karma.
poor George Floyd.
Whatever you put out in this world, it comes back. So be
What they say,
careful.
karma looking for you.
Be careful what you put back. For the 9 minutes that he held his knee on
Yeah,
that guy's neck.
yeah. With his hands in his pockets, like he just taking a walk in the park.
Mm, 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 mm.
Like it wasn't nothing. People telling you this guy can't breathe. He's dying. This guy can't breathe. He's telling you. He's telling you he can't breathe, but you're just sitting there looking smug with your hands in your pocket. That picture right there just stays in my head. This man is dying, and you're looking at people like Ann and I wish you would come up here. So,
Thanks
it
for
was,
watching, Paulina.
it was
She
horrific.
says that it's going to happen. It was going to happen to him sooner or later.
Yeah, I think he probably just holding his breath. I wasn't surprised at all when I saw it. I'm not jumping up and down rejoicing for nobody getting stabbed up, but it ain't no surprise that it took place. The only surprise might be that it took this long, but no surprise that it happened.
The I thought this was the story that you was talking about when you first started talking. I was trying to get all of
Ah,
the stories.
I saw that, but I didn't really
Yeah, I didn't read it either. I
see
think
what was
Jermaine
on.
sent that story. But you know a story I did read? This one right here, baby.
Oh, baby. Oh,
Listen,
yeah. Yeah.
listen. When I tell you this whole puppy thing,
Is about to
It's
be
getting out of
Bill
hand.
Cosby all over again.
why it's getting out of hand, Kiki?
It's just too much, too many people, too many
Mm,
stories.
mm.
But what does
Been-
that tell you?
It's been going on for a while.
I just want to know, is Young Miami okay?
Mm.
She need to blink or something, wink her
You
eye.
just need to blink. And who is Young Miami? Please tell me.
She said, "Who's Young Miami?"
I don't know.
Young
Yeah.
Miami is a city girl.
She's a what?
She's a city girl.
What does that mean?
She was dating
His
Puppy
arm candy.
Oh, is that the girl that sued him for the
real
money?
bad.
She was
No.
going to blackmail him and tell on him.
No,
No,
that's somebody else. Miami is his arm candy.
because of his arm.
Oh, I
Candy.
thought that was a little girl that sued him.
She a grown woman, younger
Yeah.
grown woman, but yeah.
So it's so many allegations out there. So
You
many
can't
people
keep
coming
doing wrong.
forward telling stories. Man, the internet, when I tell you that they are ruthless,
Yeah.
this picture going around. I did it, baby. I did it.
Yeah. But
Oh my God,
one
I'm not
thing I've
supposed to be
always
laughing. That's not
believed,
funny, but
I believe that if you keep hearing something and there's something similar all the time about it, something somewhere in there about it that is some truth. And once you grab up to that little string of truth and you follow that trail, you'll find it.
Everybody
but
ain't
also
lying.
just like you said not too long ago, whatever you put into the world is going to come back out to you, and karma has no time limit on it when it's going to happen.
Yes, indeed. So I don't even know what to say about Puffy and
Oh well.
everything that's coming out. Even his former bodyguard came out and had a lot to say as
Mm.
well. And people was like, why he's just not talking now?
Because everybody else talking now.
Because he was named in that suit, and that's her story to tell. That's not anyone else's story to tell but
Mhm.
Cassie. And she's told her story and he backed her up. So
Mm.
everybody else, we can't decide when someone else tells their story.
Right. They have to
That's
wait
for
till they're
them to
ready.
do. And so when people that haven't been abused and haven't been through anything like that saying,
Right.
why they wait so long? Why now? Why not now? When do you want them to come out? You don't get to
Yeah, you
decide.
definitely can't tell nobody when to come out and share
Yeah.
something that they're not ready to
Yeah.
share.
Because
That's
it
right.
People
takes a
heal
lot of
different.
courage to do it. And you know that you're going to face some backlash, even if,
Yep.
the fact that it's true. There are going to be people who backlash at you and say that can't be true, or they're going to be angry with you for telling the truth. It's a lot to consider to come out and just put yourself out like that. It's not just the person you're reporting that did it. It's you. That's what's crazy. You that come under attack. And
Because
you're
you
like, but I'm
opening
the
yourself
victim
up to
here.
the world.
Right.
All
I'm
of
the
these
victim
different
here.
opinions.
And you got to be willing to take that and not flinch. You got
Right.
you got to expect it because the devil trying to shut you down. But you
Right.
standing on the truth. If you
You
standing
have
on
to
the truth,
stand on it.
hey, stand on the truth and be ready
And
for the lies. Be
Yep.
ready for everything that comes, and it gonna come.
And sometimes you can even go through feelings of, I guess I can just speak for myself. You can go through feelings of, even though you're the victim, of feeling embarrassed by it, of sharing it publicly. Does that make sense?
It
Yeah.
makes sense, but we have to ask
Yeah.
ourselves, why are we embarrassed? because we had the courage to tell our story. It's people out there watching that don't have the courage and they suffer
Right.
through the same thing. It's more courage to talk about it and share it than to hide and act like you ain't going through anything.
I
Right.
just
And you
feel like that's just a stage, where somebody can be, because even with trauma, you have different stages of it.
right.
So just because you're embarrassed right now, that don't mean that you always, going to be
Right.
embarrassed,
Right.
about it. It's
That's
just
a
a
Right.
good point.
stage.
Initially, you that may be that's I would say an initial stage of it. The embarrassment of saying it publicly and putting it out there, and now people know about it,
Yeah, and it
and you
comes
just
with
feel
it,
a
because
little
how can you help other
embarrassed
victims?
that it happened. Yeah, and
Let
then
them know
Especially
you
you
like my
watching.
generation, because it's like with us, how can you help us through something you haven't been through or experienced? Like, I don't want to hear, it's gonna get better if you haven't, actually went through there. You know those emotions that I'm feeling right then and there.
right,
And a lot of adults don't like to talk about their emotions or that they've been through anything. It's like they present it to their kids like, oh, I always, had it figured out. Or it's like they just don't understand the things that these young people are going through and suffering through.
some of them forget that they've been there, done that, or that it happened to you. You have to go back and remember it was a point in time in your life when you were there or something similar happened to you or you're aware of somebody that it happened to similar and remember what that is like times 10 now that you have social media
So I don't
and
know
word
for
can travel
everybody
so fast.
else, but for me, the Holy Spirit convicts me. The minute I try to put my mouth on somebody, he brings back to my memory. You remember that time you did this? You remember that time you been through this? You remember that time you said this? And it stops me.
Yeah,
So if I just think if everybody, thought like that or reacted like that, that we'll be slow to speak and put our
right,
minds on other
and be
people.
more compassionate and understanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. John Faulkner, Representative Faulkner said sometimes the circumstances surrounding the situation itself causes the victim to delay talking about. Yes, talking about it has different timelines. Good conversation. Thank you for the feedback. We welcome you all watching to be a part of the conversation. We want you all, we want to hear your thoughts and feedback.
It takes time to get courage to do that, and sometimes and it's all about the timing, depending on back then when that was going on. It was a different atmosphere and environment, and who they were around at that time and what they were trying to accomplish, and they put all that into consideration and say, well, I just need to be quiet about it, or if I say something about it, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and nothing is going to be good, and nobody's going to be compassionate for me and what I'm going through. They're just going to attack me or blackball me and ban me, and I don't want that. But I'm suffering with this every day, all the time. And maybe I shouldn't say something. And then one day somebody says something, and then they give you a little bit of courage to say, well, maybe I can stand up because now I'm not by myself. I don't feel alone. Now, when I step out and say this, I'm going to have somebody else to collaborate my story also and to say, yes, this did happen. I'm not telling a lie. See, it happened to somebody else too. And
Yeah.
so now it's two of us standing together saying, yes, it's happened. So, yeah, it just, you
Then
got
you have to
to,
remember, growing up in a lot of homes, it was, what happens in this house stays in this house. And if you was to go out and say something, you'll probably get beaten down when you came back home.
yeah. Or just and that same thing goes even with
That's
the
why we
industry,
stuck.
that he's in.
Yeah.
Depending on what you wanted it so bad, that you may have done this or got yourself coerced into something maybe, or you wanted it so bad you just said, well, I guess this is just what I gotta do.
And
You
also,
didn't
you
really
can't
want to
forget they
do it,
said
but
NDAs
I just
were
did it.
involved.
Or some people say, well, that's just what you got to do if you want to make it, and you don't want to do it, but you do it. And you feel later on like they forced me, made me, and it takes time to register all of that and say, you know what? He really did take advantage of me. That's
Yep.
what that was. You
Yep.
took advantage of me.
Yep.
I
And
saw a video of
manipulation.
Aaron Hall talking some really disgusting stuff about,
Yep.
People watching him do these things to women. And at
Yep.
that time, he's bragging about it, not thinking that'll ever come back to haunt him, because at that time, probably feel like can't nobody do nothing about it, ain't nothing gonna be said. But that stuff follows you and it comes back, and it can be used to support what someone else has said has happened to them. That's
Yep. This whole street code about snitches get stitches and end up in ditches. We have to be able to start talking and telling our stories and using our voice. So,
because especially when you are the victim, you have a right. They did what they wanted to do. So
and I don't think we talk enough about the grooming that takes place. It takes years of grooming. I was watching this show yesterday and I heard this guy say, didn't nobody make her do this, didn't nobody make her do that. Like, I don't think people understand intimidation. And, if you're around all these guys and everybody making it seem like this thing is cool.
Right. This is just what you do.
And she's seen him beat people up and do things to people, and he beat her up. Like, what make this guy think that he didn't make her do this? He controlled her. He got her to the position where
Intimidated her.
anything that he wanted her to do, she automatically knew how to do it without him having to put his hands on her.
Because she was scared by that point, and she had already knew this is what's going to happen. So I better get in line quick and learn it to try to prevent it from being worse for me. And this is just the way that it goes in this industry or in this environment that I'm in right now. This is how it goes, and I better not say nothing, because my life could be in danger.
I hope Young Miami is okay, because I really do love her as an artist. Mm-hmm. And that's the young lady she's growing into. And then she has a lot of, young women just following her. And it's like, abuse is not okay, especially, even though she's receiving all the things that she's receiving. But it's like,
is this somebody he's dating now?
So did you think he was doing these things to her? And probably.
It's like the things that, was coming to the light that was done to Cass. It's like, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing for sure, if it's done in the dark, it always comes to, like my grandma used to say, throw the rock and hide their hand, but eventually they see through the rock and what direction it came from.
I'm going to go and read that 30-page indictment that's out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So, but I did want to, you can kind of switch gears here and, mention a little history.
Okay.
Yeah, this week, and a lot of people don't know this. Before we had Benny Thompson, baby, we had Mike Espy.
Got that right.
Mike Espy was the first person to hold that position that Congressman Thompson holds now. He paved the way for Benny Thompson, and so we want to give a shout out to Mike Espy, and we hope that he is elected to Congress soon, and I hope he take another run at it. Yeah. And he also was Secretary of Agriculture. He was appointed by Clinton. Was it Clinton that appointed him? Clinton or Bush, but we have people from Mississippi doing great things, and I just want to talk about that moment in history. And that was the first time since Reconstruction that a black person had was in that seat. That's statewide.
Awesome. Yep. Thanks for sharing this. Talking about good things with Mississippi. What are you all's thoughts on Greyhound coming back to Jackson? Because the last thing I heard, I was like, they pretty much ain't gonna come back. They have said they're not gonna come back because certain conditions and things are not the way that they want them. But now it seems that I guess they've come to the table and come to some type of agreement, and they're supposed to be coming back. So we shall see how that works out now, if they'll stay this time, if whatever things were wrong have been fixed or changed.
I think that's a good thing for the city of Jackson. I think people need to understand why did that happen. That people try to make it seem like Jackson is bad on crime. Crimes happen everywhere, so it's not just in Jackson.
Yeah. And it wasn't just that. I think it was a lot of things that just were not fixed. That were supposed to be fixed or done that were not. So hopefully they get it together. And welcome back, Greyhound. We'll see how that go. I'm glad because
What's
So,
some better news for Jackson?
yeah.
We got to talk about Mama's Boy that's being filmed right here in the capital city. I am so happy, for what's her name? Is it
Drika
Siobhan?
Siobhan,
Yeah, yeah. And just
director slash producer.
that's right. To see her bring her movie, her vision to screen and to get the support.
Yes.
Man, listen, we are doing some big things here in
That's
Mississippi, and I'm
awesome.
so excited.
And that's so motivating and encouraging, and it gives a lot of hope
Yes,
that
and not
you can
only
do it.
that, she's also offering like internship opportunities for students within the area. So if you at Jackson State, Tougaloo, Hines, or any other colleges within the area, you just want their hands-on experience, make sure you email Prime Stone Media and get in contact with someone so that you can get that opportunity.
That's right. Start building that resume. I remember when Kiki first started, and now she had her makeup on sets and stuff. So hey,
Okay, makeup artists to stars.
and it's not about how you start, baby. Just get started.
Yes,
Like, if you
Right.
got to
and to
start
get
in
your foot in
craft
the
service,
door.
start in craft service. You got to
That's right.
start, working as an assistant. Start as an assistant. Get your foot in
You
the
just want
door.
to get in. That's it. Once you
Get
get
in where
in,
you fit in.
opportunities, you make the
Your
connections. People
gift will
get to
make
know
room
you.
for you.
You
You
better
better
tell them.
say that, Jackie Renee.
Yes, because what God has for you is for
Is
you.
It's
what?
Ain't nobody taking away no God.
nobody,
For
baby.
you. For you. Trust me when I say it took me a year and almost, yeah, a year and a half to get this production to stage. Went through a whole lot. But
Yeah,
I
and we
promise you,
seen
this
you go
timing
through a
is
lot. So
perfect. And can I just say, I would have never ever thought, and I ran from, you couldn't have told me I was going to have to play my lead character. I just,
Wow.
wasn't looking forward, wasn't thinking about it. But God
wow.
said,
Have
I'm
you
going
ever
to
thought
show
about
you.
turning it into a film?
I have plans for that. Yes, I want to do the script. I got to work on my script. I would love to submit it to the Jackson Film Festival to see,
Oh,
to get the feedback and the experience of that. And yes, that is something that I've thought about and want to do. Just want to plan it out, make a few more connections, learn a few more things, and see where it goes. That's definitely on the table. Now,
do
do
it.
I want to
Do
be
it.
in front of the camera being Sister Nadine? No.
Yes, you need to be in front of the camera.
Yeah, we got to stop playing ourselves small. We got to stop talking ourselves out of
I want
out
to
of.
do the director producer thing. That's what I want.
You can do that too. Tyler Perry. You can
See,
do
there
that
you
too.
go.
But he also said he hated playing Medea. I read that. Yeah.
but
One
but
thing
that was
about it, if
his
you do
biggest
it,
breakthrough.
They said it made him so much money.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
his biggest breakthrough.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was quite an experience. That was quite an experience.
So you guys, you all did y'all see my post about me wanting to have a conversation about religion?
I didn't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, someone shared a post. I think it was Josh or somebody shared a post, and I forgot what the initial
Joshua
post.
Cable.
No, Joshua Quinn.
Okay.
But the post was about how we'll talk about all this low level stuff, but people don't want to talk about religion. What is the fear that you think people have of talking about religion? And you wonder why we're so ignorant about it.
I think people are passionate about religion and politics, and there's so many different views that people can get so passionate about it, it can kind of go left. And I don't think, some people don't want to get to the point where it takes on this form of confrontation and argument and debate, because even the word says don't argue the word with nobody. But people get so passionate, it can get out of hand. And I think some people too don't want to voice their opinions because they don't want to feel like people are coming at them for saying what they believe, or labeling them in some way that's negative, just stuff like that.
And I think because people have their own traditions and beliefs and values, and it's like, they are so used to being raised a certain way, and taught that, hey, you don't do this, that you don't do that, to where when they hear something that's different from what they're, they was raised to, it's like, I was always told to stay away from that. And, even just hearing it makes you, kind of uncomfortable, because it's like you don't want to dib and dab in it. But it's like, how would you know if you don't do research?
Yeah, and I think we let our culture and the things that we was taught growing up keep us away from knowledge as well. Some people don't want to talk about people that don't agree with or believe what they believe. I like when people disagree with me. I see it as an opportunity to learn.
That's true.
I always pick people brains who
Mhm.
have different beliefs than me because I want to understand why they
Right.
believe what they believe.
Right. That makes sense. And if people went into it with that mindset, it wouldn't get so confrontational and so argumentative and get all out of hand to the point you just about completely do a 360 and you be like, okay, you a Christian or you a criminal because you about to kill me over this. They don't go into it with that mindset. Let me just hear you out. Not that I'm saying you're gonna change my mind, but I'm interested in knowing, how did you grow up in this way, and how did you learn these ways, and how do you know why and how and all of that. So if they came at it that way, it may not get so crazy and out of hand. And then I'll also say a lot of times just also the lack of knowing, because you don't read your word for yourself and learn and study and get a true understanding of what it says. And if you want to know about somebody else's, read that and study that too, so that you can have an intelligent, respectable debate if you want to have with them, or conversation with them about it, but be knowledgeable
I
and have a
think so.
relationship instead of religion. That'll help you too.
Look, that's the main thing because I see a lot of religion and very few relationship. People
Right.
talk about sin more than they talk about love, and that's the whole foundation of it. Like we can't get it right without Jesus. We can't do it by ourselves. And
And please remember, folks killed under the guise of religion. They enslaved people under and supported it under religion. Killed and murdered different cultures under religion. Religious people killed other people in other cultures that were different from them and put laws in place because of religion.
And just like I mentioned with cross culture communication, how before traveling anywhere, you're supposed to do your pre departure training so that you would already have some knowledge, and you
Mm-hmm.
would know like what could be, offensive to those the people that you're
Mm-hmm.
about to encounter. You can
Mm-hmm.
already know their tradition, their beliefs. I
Right.
feel like those same rules can be applied to when it come down to religion.
Right.
Research those religion, learn those traditions and those beliefs and all of that, for yourself before even trying to engage in the conversation.
Right.
So that when someone is talking to you about it, you will kind of already know, from doing your previous research. So it won't be like they just throwing a whole bunch of information on you. You'll become overwhelmed to where,
Right.
it's like you putting up that wall to where you're not receiving.
Right.
And
And you
just
can
be open
identify what's
minded
right or
anyway.
not
Don't be
being told to
closed
you.
minded when it come, to certain things.
to hear you say that, I wrote a letter to Minister Farrakhan today, an email, and I greeted him, Assalamu alaikum. I greet you in the
Yeah.
love and in the name of Allah. I
Mhm.
greeted them the way they greet each other.
Right. Right.
And, I just absolutely love Minister Farrakhan. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I have seen him speak maybe about 8 times face to face, probably 10.
Oh wow.
And to say that Minister Farrakhan has been to my home is a blessing. Many people can't say that. He is
Yeah.
the most powerful black man in the world. Tell me somebody
Right.
more
And
powerful.
intelligent
Tell
and
me somebody
carries
more
himself.
powerful. The
Carries
fact that I
himself.
have access,
Yeah.
the fact that this is my daddy, one of my daddy friends, is just so
Hmm.
crazy to me.
Wow.
And so I email about a project that I'm working on, and I give you all more information as it, comes to fruition. I'm speaking it into
Yes.
existence.
Can we
But
get him on the show?
whew, I
Never know.
it. But that's kind of what I'm doing. Setting up an interview with him,
That'd
but
be awesome.
it's about my father and my father's story. So, but
And I like to add one more thing, since we're talking about the religion. Just like I said, in India, how the cows are sacred. What I did notice was the difference, that I felt within my body just from eating how they
Mm-hmm.
eating their diet that they eat over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I seen a lot of older people, living versus the US, how, a lot of us, they're not living, they're unhealthy and all of that. I wasn't as tired. And I'm like, I really do see the
The
difference.
difference in the
the diet.
diet
Yeah.
and what's
Food
in the
can
food.
heal and food can kill.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We have to learn the foods that can heal us and start eating more of those
Right.
And
foods.
I had way more energy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because when I tell you, them Indians be up early and running and working, like they be up early, like wasting no time. And it's like, they be going
5
like
a.m. They done did a whole hour's worth.
5 a.m. They sitting at their desk in class learning.
Wow.
Like
Right.
I'm waking up, opening my door, they already having class, like in session. The teacher's teaching at 5:30 a.m. I'm like, not in
They
America.
ahead of the game. They on it.
Not in
We
America.
still in the
We
bed
still
hitting
in the
our
bed,
alarm. We ain't even
missing
hitting our
out.
And then
alarm.
also, even how I said that was triple majors, they top two majors that they major at the same time is psychology and
And
sociology.
engineering. Mm.
Oh
Oh yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I believe that.
I was like,
And
man, like
and that
this.
just goes to show you again, the mindset too of America and this country has been, well, America is so superior and they're so intelligent and they're so smart. You put down these other cultures who really are way ahead of the game and you just
Imagine being
didn't know
19
it.
years
You
old,
are
you have
further
three
behind than you
majors, your
realize.
parents rushing you to get married, have kids, all at 19 years old. And you have to be at school at 5:30 a.m. Like, and we over here complaining about the little small stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even have, cold ice water. They use ice for wounds over there in India. And if they was to give you a cold bottle of water, if that water was to get hot, like you stuck with that hot bottle of water the rest of the day. They don't have the luxury of having refrigerators and microwaves and all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff within their rooms. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
America really is the land of the free. You have so much more to be thankful for. And it's just like, those students are saying they never had the opportunity to travel outside of India. And like how people tell others, like, you always complaining. Somebody could take your same situation and win with it. And it's like they helped me so much when I went over there. Like, I stopped myself from complaining now because I'm just like, what if you was such and such? Like, these people been took that situation and just kept going.
They grew because you grew up you in it and you're so used to it and the way that it's done. So then when they come here, it's like, wow, we don't have all that pressure. But when it comes to the education level, though, I think America has got a lot to catch up with. Even though they want to
Yes.
look down on other people like they look down on
Even
Africa,
how they
Africa
shower, they
and the
have
people from
buckets
Africa,
in they
but they were
shower.
very advanced.
Yeah, but they have buckets in their shower. So like how the water be running when we taking a shower. The
We just
bucket
take
is
it for
catching
granted.
all the extra water, and they pick the bucket up to rinse themselves. Rinse the soap and everything off. So it's like they're very reserving. They save a
Hmm.
lot, and it's like here we just let the water run
Right.
until we finish washing the dishes or something,
That's why they having
and
that
then get
water
in it.
shortage in California.
Hmm.
And I told you they cut the hot water off at 11:45. So it's like at 11:45 p.m. If you haven't
You
taken
better
no
have
hot
it done.
shower, you taking a cold bath. So just imagine we over
Well,
there. We
hold
just like,
that.
what in the world? Like over there,
Right.
my first night, I never forget. I had to take that cold shower, just in there, just shaking. I'm like, Lord, okay. But it was a
Mhm.
very beautiful, humbling experience.
Yes, indeed. So I just want to ask y'all, since we're having these conversations and you're talking about how people live in different places, like what does life mean to you all? Like what do you want to get out of life?
When it's, what do I want to get out of life? I want to be able to accomplish my dreams and my goals. I want to be able to do that with my husband. I want to be able to, when it's all over said and done, have been the very best wife and mother I could be. My relationship with God is important to me. And so, out of everything I do in life, I want that to be um, what also gets me into eternal life with God. That's what I want out of life, and I want to enjoy other people and other cultures. I want to love. I want to give love. I want to encourage people. I want to give them hope. Things like that. That's what I want.
Hmm. What about you, Kiki?
Yeah, but I want to die empty daily, and I just want to be able to leave
Yeah.
everything that God put inside of me back into the earth that I'm supposed to. Because they always say the richest place in the world is the graveyard,
Yes.
and like one of my mentors used to always tell me, you have an answer on the inside of you. You are the answer, to a solution in the world. And, I just always think about like, what if it's someone out here who, they can't get to the next level until I do what I'm supposed to do, until I give birth to that thing that I'm supposed to give birth to and put it to the world. I could be holding somebody up. So I just
Yes.
always,
Yep.
just keep that on my mind because somebody had to come help me. And I just, remind myself, like, what if they wasn't in place? What if they was around here playing, lollygag and procrastinating? So I don't want to be the reason that somebody is not, being who God called them to be because I'm not in place and, just being that vessel. So I just want to continue, to just be a vessel that He could use.
I love that. Do what I
Yeah.
got to do because it's got
Yes.
somebody out there that depends on me to be in position. I love
Yes.
that.
My city
Truly.
needs my gift. That was a T-shirt. My mentor got us
Yes,
in high
indeed.
school. My
Yes,
city
yes.
needs my gift. So
See,
I
I
just want
love this
everybody to
baby
know
from
that
day
your city
one.
needs your gift.
Yes, and
I
to
love her.
be that age and to know that already
Mhm.
is a blessing because,
Yes.
so many people are lost. So many, you got people 50, 60 years old still
Yes,
don't know
still
what
ain't
life
did
is
and
all
don't
about.
know.
They
Exactly.
have no clue, you know. And I guess to answer that question, I want to I want to be able to go in any space and be myself and be, be able to inspire people, educate people, motivate people just by being who I am. I don't want to have to
Mhm.
do nothing extra to try to fit in or try to, you know what I'm saying? Just be. And I think I do that pretty well. Um, we got a comment here. That's great. My city needs my gift. Hey, that is powerful. That is so, so powerful. I'm gonna have to post that after we finish. But hey, your city needs your gift. I tell my students all the
That
time
was from
that
Latoya Jackson. I used to always say
you
it.
should, your job is not to come to school so you can go in your community and make more money than anybody else. That's not the goal. The goal is to be able to go back and be a gift and an asset to your community.
Community.
What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Before I got on this call, I attended a Kwanzaa meeting, and the things that they were talking about in that meeting was phenomenal. I was so glad that I got on that call. They talked about working together. They talked about all the principles of Kwanzaa and
Mhm.
how we need to incorporate that throughout the year and not just doing Kwanzaa. Working together, making money together. One lady, she did a presentation on reparations, and
Wow.
like I'm going to contact that lady. The information that she gave, the things that she talked about, the Freedmen's Bureau, you don't hear people talking about that and trying
Right.
to put that back in place. Most people don't even know what that was.
Right.
And just being able to have these intellectual conversations, that we got to start having these conversations and stop focusing on the low level stuff that's going on in our community, because that's not going to change. People been sleeping with everybody for years. You know what I'm saying? We're going to sit around and talk about Dion and Tracy breaking up, or we're going to sit around and talk about why we need reparations and the things that we can change in our community if we had those funds in place. And what does reparation look like?
Right. And what is
Those are the
defunding
conversations
the
we need to
police
have
like?
around the Christmas table when we're with our families. We got to be able to change the conversations in our spaces. If you come around me talking about other people, I'm leaving the room.
So
Like,
that's not productive and it's not helping at all.
period. I'm in a whole different mindset and space about, when my mama died, that really changed everything for me. And me being on this road the last 3 years, like I'm so focused, nobody or nothing is going to stop me from living my dreams. Period. I'm willing to drop anybody. Period. I
Right.
want to be able to take everybody with me, but I know everybody can't go mentally.
Right.
So that's where I am in this thing called life, and
Your life.
I want to be able to touch and then inspire as many people as possible.
Yeah. Love it. Hope, encourage, inspire, and uplift. Makes a world of a difference, especially for us.
Locally, nationally, and internationally.
Yes.
That's my goal, my dream.
Discover how truly great we are as a people.
And I had Josh called me last week from Dubai telling me he wanted me to come over there and, to do some of the work with girls and women. And I was just like, my mind was blown. Like, oh my goodness. He was like, you the reason why I got started, and you helped me. Now it's time for me to help you. And I just got
Awesome.
emotional.
That's awesome. And that's the way it should be.
Right. And I never even thought about that. Because when I do stuff, I don't do it expecting anything in return.
Right. Right.
And Minister Abram told me the same thing today, and I just like, wow, wow,
We
wow,
are
wow.
blessed to be a blessing.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
just a circle. We do it correctly.
And that's the thing. We need to make sure that we are
Keep
supporting
the
our circle, and
circle
we got the
on.
right people in our circle.
Right.
Anybody that's not making that circle turn, you need to get.
Right. Just kick you out and close it back up and keep going.
That's right. We got to work together, help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, keep that circle tight, because you just never know.
You're exactly right.
And we're gonna disagree in the circle, but hey, we ain't gonna break up just because we disagree. That's a part of
Right.
life. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? We have disagreements, and most people get uncomfortable when they disagree. I like it. It's an opportunity to grow. When you make it
Disagree, but don't disrespect.
and
That's
you
the
go to
thing.
the other side, it's the most beautiful thing ever. But the thing is, y'all, most people disagree and don't make it to the other side. They
Right.
stop talking because they disagree
Right.
or they fell out.
Right. Or don't step back and say, well, okay, let's just see how that worked then. They fall out before they say, well, I don't agree with it, but okay, we'll do it your way and see how it works. And then you may be pleasantly surprised. Hey, it did work. It was a better way, or there's more than one way to get it done. And as long as we don't fall out with each other, don't disrespect, you can still go along with me to the next level.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Just
How
equip.
y'all feeling today after the show? How y'all feeling?
We are
Feeling
blessed.
good.
We are blessed. I'm happy to see you all, and I'm just feeling rested. I'm so excited to be to say the production is done. No, I'm just no, I love you, ladies. I'm a cheerleader for you, encouraging you, and hey, I love what we do together with each other on this podcast.
Yes,
Yes,
likewise.
indeed. I see greatness in both of you all, and I just want you all to keep giving the world your greatness.
Hey, we
Like I
are
said,
honored to be
y'all
connected to you, Dr. J, and with you. And I love my Jakirani. Ever since the first time I met her at Tougaloo, I saw it in her. She is a go getter. She gonna go get her, and I love that. And I
Yep,
just cheer her on.
yep, I tell her
You.
that about her all the time. I mean, hey, she gonna get up and go,
She got it, baby. She got it. She is
and
the role
that's
model.
more
They
than
better
what
be
the
looking at
average
her and
person
watching.
has.
Yeah, we have to
Any
encourage each other as
any
women.
final thoughts? Anything else we need to say? I think this was a wonderful show today.
No, just hey, remember to never stop learning, connect to people, learn from those people. When you get where you need to be, remember somebody else and help them. You know, be just be open, be respectful to each other. Let's respect each other more as Black women.
That's
And
right.
be open minded and do more research on topics that you don't understand and
Right.
would like to know more about before you open your mouth with less knowledge and offend someone.
Come on. Come
Read.
on.
Read. We know it was illegal back in the day for us to learn how to read. That's why, we
There's
don't
no
want to pick up a
excuses.
book, but make yourself read. Listen
Yeah.
to audio books,
Yes.
whatever you got to do to learn something. They talk about that on the call, to learn something else so that you can share and be an asset to your community.
Right.
Not
Invest
growing.
in your education.
If you're
Invest
not
in
growing,
yourself.
your community not growing, your family not growing.
Right.
So
Sign up for some classes. Take you a
that's
quick
right.
course, online course. Just learn something new. Learn something different.
Go to
Invest in
Carson
yourself.
Enterprises. Hey, I'm
Now.
mastering the arts of grant writing. I'm also offering how to use AI to transform your classroom. And I'm offering classroom and courtroom Supreme Court cases that every teacher and parent should know. So
That's
go to
awesome.
Carson Enterprises and register. And we thank you all so much for watching.
A view from the city. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
See y'all on the other side of the new year.
24, baby.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
To stay informed about what's happening right here in Jackson, Mississippi, keep it locked to